Yo, what's going on, everybody? Just straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for pretty much my favorite part of doing any of these MLB 15 The Show franchises, the off-season episode for my Philadelphia Phillies franchise. We are headed into off-season number 2. We are done with the 2016 season. We did not make the playoffs, of course. The Athletics defeat the Nationals in the World Series. We ended up winning 73 games this year, one more win than we had last year. But I'm hoping that our 70-win seasons are behind us. I'm thinking this year we are going to be competitive, and you're going to see why in this offseason. So first off, Tom Kim ends up retiring due to a torn MCL, and Devin Lumen also retires too. Nah, don't really care about missing those guys. Tom Kim would have been nice to have. He had some nice offensive ratings, but it's not a big deal. So anyway, here's a look at the contracts that we offered. I didn't give any long-term extensions, pretty much the same thing I did last year. I didn't give any long-term extensions to any of the guys this year. Dominic Brown enters his last year of service time of team control for us or whatever, so he will be a free agent next year. We only gave him a one-year contract, but that's alright. I'll worry about re-signing him next year if I want to bring him back. There was no one really I felt like we had to extend this year. So you can see everyone pretty much accepted their deals. I think the only guy we had trouble signing was Jomar Reyes, the guy we got from the Orioles at the trade deadline last season, but we eventually got him under contract. So anyway, we're looking at the free agent list, and there is one big name that I immediately knew I was going to be interested in, Stephen Strasburg, 28 years old, just entering his prime, 98 overall. And so I go to him. He's looking for $30 million a year, which is the most you can offer somebody in this game. So I said, alright, that's a lot of money, but you know what? This is the perfect kind of free agent to go after. He's just entering his prime. He's not looking for too long of a contract. So I decided I would change up the details a little bit. I went 6 years and $168 million, which is $28 million a year, instead of 5 for $150. So he gets $18 million extra in total money and an extra season, but the AAV is a little bit lower. So as you can see, we end up settling on 6 years, $168 for our initial offer, and we will end up seeing how that works out. We'll see if we can have to outbid everybody else, or maybe he will, you know, just go back to Washington on a short deal or whatever, you know, a lesser total money deal just to stay in Washington or whatever. But another name I thought I'd be interested in, Adam Lind. I looked at his stats. He looked pretty good. I thought it could be a nice little left-handed platoon bat at first base, but I decided against it. So I'm going back here now, looking at some trades. I knew catcher was a spot I really wanted to upgrade, so I get Brian Johnson, Tom Windle, and Jesse Biddle to Milwaukee for Jonathan Lucroy. And then we're going to also move Christian Vasquez and Aaron Judge for Sean Doolittle. So we shore up our closer role and our catcher for next season. So anyway, here is a super fast look at me. Actually, it isn't super fast, it's just a 2x speed. But me going through, looking for depth guys, looking for guys to fill out the farm system with maybe B potential, or even if they're C and D potential but have maybe good hitting ratings or something, I went after guys like that. But this is pretty much just filling out the farm system here, you know, trying to get, you know, get the best system we can have, and trying to sign, you know, anyone we thought might be worth signing. You can see here's Jomar Reyes. We're still working on getting him back. He would end up signing that one-year $310,000 deal. So anyway, I thought about signing Justin Turner there as well, but we have so many infielders as it is. I figured it was not going to be necessary. We'll see, though. I think he's actually still a free agent. I don't think anyone signed him this offseason. So anyway, Richie Bridges, deep potential guy, but he's got good contact versus lefties, so I figured I'd sign him. Vaughn O'Keefe, same thing. Actually, he's better against righties. I think same thing with the last guy. But anyway, you can see just going through, signing guys, I figured I'd show that. Why not? And anyway, we're simulating through now, and you can see Richie Bridges signs, Gil, all these guys pretty much all signed our contracts. They weren't getting contracts from anybody else, it appeared. So we move ahead here now. We're at the end of November, still simulating through here, and I'm just going to simulate through the end of the month, last day to tender arbitration eligible players. And there we go, Stephen Strasburg signs on with the Philadelphia Phillies. How about that? 6 years and $168 million. So that is awesome. Strasburg is a guy that I knew I wanted to go after. Like, even when I started this series, I thought 2016 free agency, if Strasburg's in free agency, I'm getting him no matter what. I was just going to go after him 100 times out of 100. He's going to be the ace of our staff moving forward, and that is that. So we also picked up Jordan Walden there for a couple of shortstops, one of them being Miguel Rojas. And then take a look at this. We get a blockbuster trade offer from the Dodgers, Jurickson Profar for Yasiel Puig. So I had to look at the numbers a little bit. I'm looking at Puig's attributes. So I really had to think long and hard about this. I'm thinking about depth in our farm system. You know, we have more infielders than outfielders coming up soon. So at the end of the day, I decided to pull the trigger, and Yasiel Puig is now a Philadelphia Philly. Get excited, Phillies fans. That is quite the move right there. Not a trade you see too often, but obviously we've seen, you know, the Yasiel Puig trade rumors sort of pick up here, especially this season. There was a lot of talk about maybe he would be moved at the deadline this year. So I thought, you know, it made a little bit of sense realistically. Plus, the Dodgers, you know, they need some new middle infielders. They don't have really a good shortstop right now. They re-signed Howie Kendrick. And obviously we have Corey Seager, so they really don't have a good young shortstop. So it makes sense why they would want to go after Profar. And plus, you know, he's a little bit younger and a little bit cheaper. But at the same time, Profar was due to make $8 million this year in arbitration. So we actually, I think, maybe save a little bit of money this year on it. Not that that's anything to the Dodgers. But take a look at all these crazy trades. I mean, we were not the only ones to be pulling off some crazy trades here. Oh, and one I skipped. I ended up offloading on Matt Harrison's contract to the Braves for Manny Buenuelos, who's at this point just an organizational guy. I just wanted to get the Harrison money off the books. So anyway, we're in spring training here, we're simulating through, and we suffer one pretty big injury. Odubel Herrera is going to be out for 1 to 2 months with a broken arm, so that's going to hurt. He was going to be our opening day center fielder. Instead, we're going to have to figure out what to do there. We don't have a ton of depth in the outfield. I think I'm probably going to have to play Puig in some center if I want to put out the best team possible, but ideally he would be in right for us. So here's what our rotation looks like heading into the season. Now those last 2 spots, Adam Warren and Severino Gonzalez, they're going to be filled actually by the likes of Jack Flaherty, Alex Reyes, Shohei Ohtani, or whatever that guy's name is, I can never pronounce it. Eventually, I just want to wait the first like 15 days or so to get the extra year of service time out of them. But by the time that I play the first gameplay episode, those guys will be up on the Major League team. So these lineups, and even with the lineup too, we're going to call up Benito Rodriguez and Enos Carpenter probably pretty shortly after the season starts. So, you know, these lineups are sort of temporary more than permanent, but anyway, that is that. So I hope you guys are excited. I think we have an exciting season of Phillies baseball ahead of us, and I am really hoping for a playoff spot, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.